Most young men are not lazy, they are drifting. There is a difference. Lazy means refusing to move. Drifting means moving, but in no clear direction. You see it happening slowly. Your son wakes up. He checks his phone. He scrolls. He reacts. He consumes whatever appears in front of him. The day moves forward, but nothing meaningful moves with it. A lot of young men today are busy, but they are not progressing. They are active, but they are not developing. They are surrounded by information, yet completely lacking direction. And that is what drifting looks like. Not dramatic failure, not rebellion, just slow, quiet, comfortable drift. No structure, no discipline, no defined path, just motion, without progress. Drift feels harmless at first. It looks normal. Phones, games, distraction, constant stimulation. Everyone else seems to be doing the same thing. But drift compounds. A day becomes a week becomes a month becomes a year, and eventually, a boy becomes a young man without direction. This is where many parents misunderstand the problem. They believe motivation is the solution. Encouragement, confidence, inspiration, more support, more positivity. But motivation fades, structure remains. Structure is not punishment, structure is protection. Structure gives young men something the modern world no longer provides: a clear standard, a rhythm to their days, a system that tells them what matters and what doesn't. Without that rhythm, young men drift between impulses. Whatever feels good in the moment becomes the decision. Whatever is easiest becomes the habit. And over time, those habits shape identity. A young man who wakes up late every day slowly learns something about himself. He learns that discipline is optional. A young man who avoids hard things learns another lesson. He learns that comfort comes before growth. And those lessons compound, not loudly, quietly, day after day. But structure interrupts that cycle. Structure teaches a young man that his actions matter, that consistency builds strength, that discipline builds confidence, and that responsibility builds respect. Young men do not need complicated systems. They need simple anchors: wake time, training time, study time, reflection time. 4 anchors. Most boys today grow up in an environment that constantly pulls their attention away from discipline. Every notification competes with focus. Every algorithm competes with effort. Every distraction competes with responsibility. And over time, the easiest path slowly becomes the default path. This is why structure matters more today than it did 20 years ago. Because the world young men are growing up in is not neutral. It is engineered for distraction, engineered for impulse, engineered for instant gratification. If a young man does not have structure, he will be shaped by whatever influences him the most: friends, social media, random opinions, temporary emotions. But structure interrupts that. Structure creates boundaries, it creates expectations, it creates accountability. A young man who wakes up early every day learns discipline. A young man who trains his body learns resilience. A young man who reads instead of scrolling learns focus. And a young man who keeps promises to himself develops confidence. Confidence is not something you give a young man with encouragement. Confidence is something he earns through repeated action, through showing up, through doing the hard thing when it would be easier not to, through choosing discipline even when nobody is watching. This is the difference between motivation and structure. Motivation tells you to feel inspired. Structure tells you what to do next. Motivation is emotional. Structure is operational. Motivation comes and goes. Structure stays. And when a young man learns to operate within structure, something important happens. His identity changes. He stops asking what he feels like doing and starts asking what needs to be done. That shift alone separates drifting boys from developing men. This is why structure is not restrictive. It is liberating. Because once a young man learns to control his habits, he stops being controlled by them. Most parents are not failing their sons because they lack care. They struggle because the modern world has removed the systems that used to exist naturally. Schools once reinforced discipline. Communities once reinforced standards. Mentors once reinforced responsibility. Today, many boys grow up surrounded by influence, but without guidance. And when guidance disappears, drift fills the space. This is why structure cannot be optional anymore. It must be intentional. A young man who trains consistently develops resilience. A young man who follows rules develops accountability. A young man who builds routines develops control. These are not small things. They are the foundation of character. And character determines whether a boy becomes a man who leads his life, or a man who reacts to it. The world does not reward potential, it rewards disciplined action, and discipline is rarely built in dramatic moments. It is built in quiet repetition, daily, unseen, uncelebrated. If you are a parent watching your son drift, the worst thing you can do is assume motivation will fix it. Motivation is temporary, structure is permanent. And that is exactly why we are opening Founder Cohort 01, a structured 90-day discipline framework for young men. Founder Cohort 01 is limited to 10 UK families. Application only. If that sounds like something your son needs, apply now. thebrotherhoodcode.com/beta